Why would a government use your tax dollars to hire people to convince you that you don't need to prepare? Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Beautiful morning today. It's Sunday. It's actually about 5:30 in the morning right now, and the sun is fully out, as you can see. And look at how green everything is. Everything has greened up. So I thought I'd come on out here and go for a little walk, and I guess we can have a little talk. Something I've been thinking about this weekend. Sorry, there was a loud truck coming down the road. This last weekend, I'm watching, I have a lot of YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to, and a lot of them have to do with finance, with homesteading, probably the same kind of YouTube channels you're all subscribed to. But I've noticed that channels that were once concentrating on just one thing, for example, let's pick like finance. So channels that used to concentrate like on the economy and the financial system and things like that, now all of a sudden they've kind of like done a little bit of a U-turn. And not saying that they don't still talk about financial, things and the economy and the housing market and all that stuff. They still do that, but lately they've been turning to the prepping side of things. I'm not complaining about that. I'm not here saying, oh goodness, they're stealing clicks from me, they shouldn't be talking about prepping. And no, it's not about that. It's actually a great thing. It's a good thing, because the more people from the different types of genres that are out here on YouTube that know that we need to be prepared, the better. But my point, ladies and gentlemen, is why? Why are all of these other channels all of a sudden, when in the past they never really talked about preparedness in the way that we see it? They talked about financial preparedness. They talked about, yeah, you need to make sure that you're leveraged, that you get out of the system as much as you can as far as monetary wise goes. But like, for example, let's talk about Peter Schiff. I love Peter Schiff. I think he's a great economist. And let's talk about him. He's never really talked about, like getting prepped. And he didn't even call it prepping when I saw him on this interview. But somebody asked him, I think it was Greg Hunter, asked him, he says, so what should the average person be doing? And he said, well, the average person that really can't afford gold, or silver or anything like that, they need to be buying whatever they can now. They need to be buying it up now, because eventually it's not going to be available. And this guy, Peter Schiff, he's not no newcomer to the scene. He's been around for a long time, and he knows what's going on. And oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, the sun is so bright. I hope that you can see me all right. If not, just listen. Probably doing yourself a favor if you turn your face away. But another channel that I follow, Mr. Joe Brown. Love that guy. Very smart young man. I mean, really smart guy. He's never really talked about, prepping, getting things that you need, buying it now. And all of a sudden he's talking about it. The Economic Ninja, another great channel. He's now turned into putting out more videos about preparedness, which is a great thing. It's like I said, the more prepping channels we have, or the more channels that we have that tell people, listen, you need to prepare, the better it is, because the word needs to get out there so that the most people that can get prepared now will get prepared. Because there's going to be people sitting on the sidelines with a whole bunch of money in the bank, and they're going to lose that money, or they're going to lose its purchasing power, and they're going to wish that they would have at least taken some of that and prepped up with it and gotten things that they knew they were going to use in the future anyways, right? So it's good that these things are happening. And even Martin Armstrong. Martin Armstrong, I've talked about him before. I saw him on an interview, and he's always been an economic guy. A guy that talks about politics, and, well, not really politics, but what happens with governments and things like that. Even he said people need to stock up on foods that last a long time. They need to stock up on tires for their cars, on things that they know they're going to need. My point is this. People that have never talked about preparedness in the way that we talk about it in the prepper community, meaning get the things that you need. Learn how to become more self-reliant or resilient by growing your own garden. They even talk about that. Grow your own garden, grow your own food, even if it's only a little bit. Do it. You know, do it now so that you can get practice. These people that have never talked about that before, you know, about preparedness, now they're coming out and talking about it. But why is that? Why do you think that is, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think that they don't see what we see here in the prepper community? Do you think that they don't see what's about to happen? And it may take a day. Tomorrow things can go Mad Max, right? There could be riots all over. It may take a month. It may take a year. Or it may take 5. Who knows? Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Ever since I retired from the military, I've paid into my health insurance, right? Which is actually a very good premium. I'm not complaining about it at all. But I paid into my health insurance and really haven't used it that much. But have I wasted that money? Absolutely not. Because I know for a fact, or I would like to think that I know for a fact, that if right now, if I tripped right now on a rock, because I'm here looking into a camera instead of looking ahead in the road, if I tripped right now on a rock and I broke my ankle or I broke my leg or whatever, that I can go to the hospital and be treated and be taken care of. So no, absolutely not. That money is not wasted one bit. Same thing with getting a set of tires that you know you're going to need in the future, because just like with health insurance, you know that eventually you're going to need that in the future. You may get a cold that gets out of control, and you may think, well, I better just bring my child in, or I better bring myself in just to make sure that this is just a cold. Eventually, you know you're going to use it. So you have no problem paying for it. You have no problem getting it and making that monthly premium, right? So in a way, you're doing payday preps for your health by paying health insurance. So are you doing payday preps for your life, for your everyday life, in case something happens in real life that you need to use those preps for? So all of these other channels that talk about different things, they're now talking about preparedness. And I think it's a great thing. It's a great awakening. And people need to wake up, right? For those of you that are out there that think that these videos that we put out, i.e. preppers or people that are talking about prepping and the economy, you know, how bad it is, and the financial system, how eventually the dollar will no longer be king, and that is a fact. For those of you that think that that's just nonsense, man, I'll tell you what, I really feel bad for these people. I put out a video yesterday, Sunday, before our live stream, and I was talking about people that are always going on talking about, oh, you're fear-mongering, you're fear-mongering. Well, I watched a video early this morning by MD Creekmore. I believe this is his name, MD Creekmore. Great channel, by the way. Go check it out. I'll try to leave a card right on the upper right-hand corner for his channel. Great channel. And I didn't know this, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know that governments hired trolls to go and troll channels. That's how technically savvy I am. I didn't know any of this, but he covered that on his last video, or the last video that I've seen of his. And why would they do that? Ask yourself that. Why would a government use your tax dollars to hire people to convince you that you don't need to prepare, to troll YouTube accounts to convince people that they don't need to prepare? Using your tax dollars. Why is that? Is it because they see something coming that they may lose control, or in which they may lose control, and they know that controlling the narrative and having people not as prepared as they could be would enable them to control the people even more? Because if you don't have what you need, especially sustenance, if you don't have it and you really need it, or your children really need it, and the government is there to give it to you, what are you willing to give up for that? And I'll tell you what right now, ladies and gentlemen, just take a look at history. Some people would give up everything for it. Some people will give up all of their liberties and freedoms for that loaf of bread. So ask yourself, what would you do? Okay, what would you do? Let me go ahead and turn around. Maybe you guys can see the sun. There it is. There's Bob. We used to call the sun Bob in the Army. What would you do if your children were starving? What would you do if you had nowhere to get food? If you knew that your next meal was going to be one slice of bread for each person in your family, what would you do in order to make sure that your children and your family were fed? Just enough to stay alive, because you did not prepare. So there's a lot of people who are going to give their sovereignty away for a loaf of bread. Mark my words, a lot of people will give away their sovereignty, their freedoms, for a loaf of bread. This will happen. Another YouTube channel that I saw yesterday that was doing talking about prepping. I love this channel. I watch this guy every single day. Every video he puts out, I watch it. Even though the message that he's been putting out is the exact same message every single day for, I don't know, well, not every day, but every video he puts out, I would say 99% of video he puts out is the same message. You have to take care of your finances. You have to, think about our monetary system, how our economy is doing. This is happening. It's the same message, but with new data. So he keeps us informed as to that the system is still going down, but there are new reasons stacking up on top of each other as to why the system is going down. And his name is Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, but it's B-A-B-E. Babe or Bobby. All right? And yesterday, he put up a video where he was at Costco doing a little Costco tour saying, hey, listen, get some things for barter. Get some whiskey. Get some vodka. Get some rice now while it's still there. The shelves still look nice and full. And this may be deceiving to some people that the shelves look as full as they are. It may be deceiving to them, and they may say, well, the shelves are nice and full. We don't have a problem. But then when the panic starts, that store will be wiped out in 1 hour or 2 hours. And then what are you going to do with all that money that you have in the bank when the stores have nothing to sell you and you're stuck with a whole bunch of green? What are you going to do then? So even he put out a video like that. And like I said, I'm not criticizing. I actually like that we have the message now going across all of YouTube. I also heard that, I think it was Magic Prepper that was talking about how preppers are now being demonized by the mainstream media. Now, I haven't seen anything like this on the mainstream media. I really don't watch them. If I come across an article from the mainstream media now and then that makes sense, then I will read it, and if I feel like it's important, I'll post it. I'll put it on one of my videos. But he said that something like we were being, I think it was on his last live stream, that we were being demonized by the mainstream media. Obviously the government has it in for preppers. If you have more than 2 weeks worth of food put away, you're considered a threat to the government, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, get your stuff now. Get it now before you're put on a list because you went and bought a 50-pound bag of rice. Right? Get it now. Listen, all of us prepping channels, we're already on a list. We've already put ourselves out there. All right, we've already made that decision. And what happens, happens. But remember that and I'm not comparing preppers, trust me. I'm not comparing us to like the founding fathers, absolutely not. But even the founding fathers knew that they were going to have to pay a hefty price for what they did in order to create this beautiful nation that's the best nation in the entire history of mankind, the United States of America, or these United States of America. Even they knew that they were going to pay a hefty price. But look at what their sacrifice produced. Their sacrifice produced the best country that has ever come about in the history of mankind. And like I said again, I am not comparing ourselves, i.e. prepper channels and stuff, to the founding fathers at all. Okay, so don't take that out of context. But what I'm saying is that we decided, or at least I'll speak for myself. I decided that, okay, if I'm on a list, I'm on a list. What can I do about that? But what about the thousands of people that started preparing because they came across our community? So that has a lot of weight. All right, that has a lot of weight. And if a day comes where I have to relocate, if a day comes where I have to take my stuff and move, then I'll do it. But I'll know in the back of my head, you know what? We have a chance as a country. And this community played, even though it may have only played a very small part, it still played a part. So I'll go ahead and leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a beautiful day out here today. I'm actually going to go to the bunker now and get ready for our live stream. I hope that you were able to see everything okay with the sun. But let me go ahead and do a little 360 of what everything looks like. How nice and green everything is. Pretty, huh? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a great week. And listen, if you haven't taken a look or gone over and watched the video that I put up where I give you instructions on how you can enter to win 2 of the Alaska Prepper Payday Preps buckets that are on sale at Nutrient Survival, go ahead and watch that video. I'll leave it over here on the upper right hand corner. Just a second. I'll leave it up here in the upper right hand corner so you can watch that video. Very simple instructions. Actually, it's going to go ahead and send you to the Nutrient Survival podcast that I joined in on the other day. But it'll give you simple instructions as to what you need to do to enter. And you have all the way till the 11th of June to enter. So it's very easy and you still have plenty of time. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check it out. Other than that, let me put this out real quick. I should be putting it out during our live stream today, which will be yesterday, because I'll put this video out on Monday. I will not be having a live stream on Friday coming up, all right? But I will be having a live stream on Sunday, next Sunday, which is when we announce the winner of those 2 buckets. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for all of your support. And especially thank you very much for allowing this to be the best YouTube community on YouTube. And I know I'm biased, but having said that, have a great day, have a great week, and God bless every one of you.
Hello everyone, I have here today in order to ask you one simple question. All the crazy things going on in the world, if something bad happens, if something does not go your way, and it becomes too much to take, tell me, what are you gonna do?
What you gonna do if the lights go out, if the bars on your phone go down? What you gonna do when the food in your fridge runs out? What you gonna do? Alaska Prepper has got the measure to help you make it through December. Help you prepare no matter the weather. What you gonna do?